Thailand was a great experience, man. It was I took the fight on like 2 weeks notice, so I didn't really have a whole lot of time to analyze and overanalyze my loss or what was going to happen. It was like, get running and go fight. Being over there was great. I was on the same car with a lot of guys I really looked up to for a long time, so it was kind of an honor and kind of like a shocking moment for me to like kind of come to grips with the fact that this is where I'm at now. This is what has happened, and I still felt the need to prove myself to be there. And now that I have, I feel like I'm where I want to be, and it'd be nice to fight at 180 and not 175. And it's a non-title fight, so the weight class doesn't really matter. So it's not necessary for me to cut all that weight to make 175, which I think it's a lot easier on my body. It's a lot healthier for me, and it's probably a lot better for the fans. The less stress either one of us put on our bodies to make weight, the more exciting the fight is for the fans. And that's what I think Muay Thai is all about. I lost the fight to Simon, but I don't think there's anybody that wanted their money back, even my fans. So I think as long as you put on a good fight and fucking exciting, then the fans are going to continue to come out and support the sport and support me and support Muay Thai in the US. Well, usually I try to train more based around my opponent. Like this is what he's good at. Okay, this is what we need to do to nullify that or take that away. And for this fight, because we don't really know a whole lot about him, I've just been more focused on myself, which I think has made a big difference. And over the since around like the Brandon Banda fight, I got in a strength conditioning coach. It was all about being like big and strong, and I think I spent a lot more time on my strength conditioning that I should have been spending on my technique. And I think this is great that I stopped doing strength conditioning. I'm getting back to my technique. I'm still fucking strong as hell, and I'm still hitting hard as fuck. So hopefully I'll be a little more technical about it. My cardio's through the roof right now. I feel great. Just really excited to to win the fight, obviously, but I also want to show and try out some of my new stuff. When I first started fighting Muay Thai, there was only one promoter in California for the most part, and guys were fighting amateurs forever, just because if they went pro, there was no one to fight. There was nobody that was going to pay them, so they might as well just fight amateur forever. There was guys that had 40-something sanctioned amateur fights doing the same fucking thing that the pros were doing, but they just weren't getting paid. And that's kind of how the sport grew, in my opinion, or like evolved here in the US, was just from fighters wanting to fight and just the love of the sport. Nobody was getting any money. I don't even think the promoters were getting any money, really. And then now there's 6 or 8 promoters here in the West Coast and Nevada. So these guys, amateur guys, they have tons of opportunities to grow and to have their fans come out and to have their fan base grow and to help the sport grow. And, I think that's great. I was taking fights. When I went pro on like 8 days notice at like 187 pounds or something. I was like 21 years old. Super skinny, like 168 pounds soaking wet, We were weighing in with my coach's keys and wallet and phone, my phone, keys, wallet, in my pockets, just to make 180 so the athletic commission would make it, legal. And that was, I think I got $300 or $400, So that's the love of the sport. I wanted to fight. I wanted to do this. That was my passion, that I wanted to, It didn't make any sense, and it was crazy. But you can't stop crazy. So I took the fight, I took fights like that just to stay busy. And I think a lot of the guys in the Can't Stop Crazy crew have pretty much the same story. And, sometimes it's harder than others. I took a fight on like 4 days notice and got my ACL torn in half in one leg, and my MCL and my ACL torn in one leg, and my kneecap cartilage or some shit knocked loose in my other leg. And I got paid $1,000 for that fight and was out for a year. And coming back from that, it was a long year of really thinking about if I wanted to do this. And I think a lot of people want to fight, and then they come to a situation like that and they're like, I don't really want it that bad. You know what I mean? And I was like, well, I do want it that bad, but if I want it that bad, there's certain things I have to do to compete at this level. I have to really get serious about it. And I had a year to think about that, and you know, I had a lot of hate, but you know, it's all been a big learning experience for me, and you know, now I feel like I've kind of proven myself a little bit, at least to myself. I know I've proven myself to myself at this point, so the haters don't really bother me so much anymore. But you know, now I feel like a lot more people realize that I'm where I want to be, and now there's even more pressure to stay here. You know what I mean? To keep pushing. Yeah, you know, the Can't Stop Crazy guys and girls. You know, we got, all of us have really paid our dues. You know, and the rest of the world might not think so based on like world standards or whatnot, but when it comes to like American Thai boxing, like we've been fucking putting in work for like years and years and years. You know, I've been doing this for like 12 years. Like 12 years I've been doing this shit, you know what I mean? Marian's been doing it forever, Kevin's been doing it forever, Chaz has been doing it forever. You know, Chaz made his pro debut against Marfio Cantaletti after he won the K1 Max in Brazil. His fucking pro debut, he fights a guy that won the K1 Max in Brazil. You know, every fight Chaz ever had was a war. You know, Romy's been doing it for years. I got old posters in my gym from like fucking 10 years ago with Romy on them, you know? So we've all just been putting in work for a long ass time, and we've all just really respect the work that each other has done, you know, and that's why we're so supportive of each other. And you know, it's funny, I guess you know you're doing something right when other people want to be a part of what you're doing, and there's a lot of people hitting us up that want to be part of Can't Stop Crazy, you know, and I guess that's a good feeling, you know. But yeah, we've all put in the work, and you know, none of us have ever asked for easy props. There is no easy props. So that's kind of something we hold each other to. Is like, there's no easy props. If you don't fucking train, you ain't getting no fucking pat on the back, buddy. Like, you gotta put in work all the time. And when you fight, you're representing everybody else in that group. You know, Chaz kind of touched on it the other day, but like, if I don't beat the fucking dog shit out of Eddie Walker, I'm making and I'm letting everybody else on that fucking banner right there down. Sorry, Eddie.
Can't stop crazy. You can't stop crazy. You can't stop. You can't stop. You can't stop crazy. Don't cross the line. I lost my mind. I'm on the grind like crazy. I'm in the fight like David. You can't stop me. I'm crazy.